Alright guys, FEMZ back again. Today we're going to be talking about the Silence Incorporated, right? That's the name of this video. And just for some background before I get into the meat and potatoes of today's subject, in the previous video I made called Power and Its Cultivation, you'll find me basically giving the primordial key to access your own brand of power. And one of those modalities was shutting the fuck up, right? And this video will be me expanding that concept. So if you're not familiar with power, just watch that video and it'll be easier for you to just follow the train of thoughts today. Now, what is silence, right? What is solitude? What is that? Because it's not the same thing as being abandoned. It's not the same thing as being lonely. Being abandoned is typically something that happens when you're extricated from a group, you're exiled, you're banished, or you're just dumped because you were not seen as useful to the continuation of what was happening there. Loneliness is a feeling of inadequacy that is or it's a feeling of awareness based on inadequacy. So that being said, you can't be in a group and still feel alone. But solitude is different. Solitude is the final evolution of this muted Pokemon, or this muted modality, this D&D mode of existence. Solitude is like the final Pokemon. It's the final evolution of that, and I feel like that is where everything grows. We're too distracted by life to understand the profundities of the void. The profundities of just shutting the fuck up and actually understanding the cadence of your heart and hearing that. And the profundity of just shutting up and seeing your adversarial party just crumble for no reason. And silence reveals the play. Silence slips all the masks off. You realize that you are complicit in your suffering. You're complicit in the aggravational exponents, like the increase of aggravation in an argument. You're the one playing a role. When you can just silence it. Literally, like, you just silence it. As a child, you had imaginary friends, You instinctively knew that nobody was you. Nobody was going to give you that veneration you wanted. Nobody was going to give you that attention to detail you wanted. Nobody was going to serve you like you wanted. So you made an imaginary friend. I implore you to keep using that technology of imagination in silence. I'm telling you that it wasn't your imagination that was messed up. You took your mustard seed and put it in the desert of noise. You need to reclaim your seed, mustard seed, from the desert of noise and take it to the Amazon jungle of silence, bro. Because there are a lot of powerful vehicles ready to be used by the worthy, of those who can tank Gojo Satoru's domain expansion, infinite void. When you're in the infinite void, just staying there and not trying to be somebody, and not trying to convince somebody. When you just are, rather than becoming or convincing or scheming, you just are. And you realize that you don't even want to play a role in anybody's script whatsoever motherfucking ever. you will be unstoppable. And my channel is already not for weak motherfuckers. Like, I don't even know how anybody who consumes my channel that is weak can survive, because firstly, my videos are long. In a Gen Z like context, my videos are long, so people are not even finishing the videos. Number two, the concepts shine a mirror to you and what you're not doing in your psychonautical voyaging. It's showing you that you can always aim higher. It's showing you you're the reference point. And some people are not ready for these nukes to be dropped on them. So they will continue to be atlas for their delusions and insecurities, while you that's been purified in the furnace of the ether will be able to excel in ways that only you could. Now, you can personify this silent empire, this silent company of yours. You can give the silent emanations of your consciousness names. You can make them knights. You can make them... It doesn't just have to be an imaginary friend. It can be a king who sits on the throne and always does what's best for the kingdom, which is your body. And upon the mastery of your body, you will now begin to master your environment. Okay. I'm going to bring all this babble to earth with a paradigm, not a story, a paradigm. There's an anime that's trending right now called Solo Leveling, okay? It's an amazing anime. It's amazing because it's a theme that is played out, but it's executed so well that you're like, wow, like, so this is what this genre can be. You get me? It's like, but yeah, that's the point. Like, he's a hunter. He's the weakest hunter of all time. He's like the weakest in the world, that world. And it's not like he's weak mentally, right? He has the wrong paradigms in place. He believes in sacrifice. He believes in his own weakness. He believes in that so much that when an unfortunate incident arises, he sacrifices himself. He just does things you should not do as somebody who is at chasing power, right? But obviously, this is an anime. He got saved at the last second and he never looked back. He got blessed with a system that was telling him what to do in the world to get stronger. And he eventually became stronger than everybody. I'm not spoiling it for you guys. This is no secret. Like, Sun Jin-woo is the strongest in Solo Leveling. That's like saying gravity pulls shit down. But in reality, it just pulls things towards its center. But yeah, Sun Jin-woo is the strongest in the Solo Leveling world. And I believe that silence was his weapon. He constructed such an immaculate imaginary world that, because when he talks to his system, right, the people who are not him think he's talking to air. So all his egress, all his these are characters in the anime, all these egress, all these Bazan, all these people he like told to arise, that is his imagination. That is not real. It doesn't exist. He is solo leveling. That's what he's doing. And for you to solo level, you need to shut the fuck up and let the silent empire arise. Okay? So that you don't bleed from every change of mood. You know, when somebody changes their facial reaction, you're like, do I need to calibrate here? Bro, for the fact that you're even in the perspective of someone who needs to calibrate you're not Isagi Yoichi, bro. Your ego is not designed that way. Stop capping to yourself. Stop capping to yourself. You're not Isagi Yoichi. You're not gonna fucking analyze everything and break the puzzle pieces. No, men don't function like that. We burn everything to the ground and move in lockstep with our own will to power and to truth. And I mean, if you're one of those few guys that can Isagiyoichi the thing, fair enough. But I know that niggas are not doing that. Niggas don't have the fortitude to do that. So what I'd advise again is for you to be silent and let your values come up. You don't have values, you have what you've been told by who? Can you put a face to where the knowledge you hold so dearly comes from? Where is the source of your conviction? The only way you can find out is to shut the fuck up, and then an imaginary bishop will come and diagonally go across the board to get information for you. Do you get what I mean? By shutting up, you become a king, and then your pieces are your silent machinations up here. And then if you succeed so much, people may actually come and just want to act in the play you've constructed. But the power is yours, okay? Safe.